Om Shri Sai Ram. Dear students, in this class we will discuss about the types of polymerization. Before going to the main concept, today's concept, we will do the revision of last class. In last class, we have discussed about the classification of polymers. Classification polymers means we classified on main 4 different types. First one is based on sources, based on structure, based on mode of polymerization and based on forces, intermolecular forces. And again on the sources, again we divided into 4 categories. That those are, first one is natural polymer, second one is semi-synthetic polymer and third one is synthetic polymer. And based on again the structure, again we divide into 3 categories. First one is linear polymer, second one is branched chain polymer, third one is cross-linked polymer. And on the based on mode of polymerization, we divide into 2 categories. Those are addition polymerization and condensation polymerization. And based on forces, intermolecular forces, we divide into 4 categories. Those are elastomers, fibers, thermosetting polymers and thermoplastic polymers. So in this class, we will discuss about the types of polymerization. Types of polymerization means we divide into 2 types, main 2 types. First one is addition polymerization and second one is condensation polymerization. So addition polymerization is nothing but chain growth polymerization and condensation polymerization is nothing but step growth polymerization. So what is mean by addition polymerization? So addition polymerization means the polymers are formed by adding same or different monomers on large scale. In this polymerization, the monomers used are unsaturated compounds, for example alkenes, alkynes and their derivatives. The polymerization leading to an increase in chain length or chain growth can take place through the either free radical or ionic species. So here we know what is mean by unsaturated compounds. Unsaturated compounds. Unsaturated compounds means the compounds which are having double or triple bond. So for example, you can give alkenes or alkynes. And their derivatives. We are by using these compounds, we are preparing the addition polymerization. We are doing addition polymerization. So next one, the addition polymerization, the polymers are formed by either free radical or ionic species. What is mean by free radical here? Free radical. The free radical means the molecule which are having free radical, that is electron on the atom. Okay, this is neutral in nature. This is neutral and highly reactive. Highly reactive. Okay, so here next we will study the free radical mechanism. Free radical mechanism in addition polymerization. Free radical mechanism. In this concept, the free radical mechanism involves the 3 steps. 3 steps, main 3 steps it involves. First step is called chain initiation step. Chain initiation step. In chain initiation step, the benzoyl chloride undergoes homolytic fission in the presence of light. Okay, so this is the benzoyl peroxide. This is the benzoyl peroxide. In the presence of light, it undergoes the homolytic fission. Okay, so the bond will break in between here. So we will get free radical. This is the free radical. Again, in last step, we will get phenyl free radical plus elimination of carbon dioxide. This whole it will take place in the chain initiation step. So again, this phenyl free radical, it reacts with alkene molecule. Alkene molecule, we will get large free radical. So this is also free radical because it is having the electron on the compound. So next second step is chain propagating step. Chain propagating step. In chain propagating step, the radical which is formed in first step, another further again it reacts with another molecule of ethene. So this is what we got in the chain initiation step. Again it reacts with ethene molecule. We will get the large chain free radical. This is a free radical again. Again when we react, when we react further with again n number of alkene compound, that is ethene, we will get long chain of free radical. See here we are adding n number of ethene. So this is again free radical. This is a large scale. So this is a long chain of free radical because n number of this is again n types again repeated in the reaction. So last step, the third step is chain terminating step. Step 3 is chain terminating step. Okay. In chain terminating step, the free radicals are combined in different way to form a polymer here. This is one free radical. This is one free radical. Here polymerization. So it gives polymer. It's a continuation here. Okay, this is the polymer. Okay, very important. See, there are two large chain free radical are combined to give a polymer. So this is very important. You have to remember all three steps in free radical mechanism. So next one, we will study about some important addition polymers. Some important addition polymers. So there are 4 important addition polymers we will discuss. The first one is low density polythene. Sorry, this one will come in polythene. In polythene, first one is low density polythene. Second one is high density polythene, and second one is polytetrafluoroethene. Third one is polyacrylonitrile. See, polytetrafluoroethene is nothing but Teflon. We will discuss one by one next. So, first one is a polythene. Polythene means usually when ethene undergoes addition polymerization, it gives a polythene. In polythene only again we divide into two. There are two kinds of polythenes are there. One is low density polythene and second one is high density polythene. So, how the low density polythene is formed? First one we will discuss about the low density polythene. When low density polythene means the polyethene molecule when undergoes addition polymerization in the presence of 1000 to 2000 atmospheric pressure, okay, and (350 to 570 Kelvin), okay, and dioxygen or peroxide as a catalyst. Okay, see here this very important, the reaction also. N number of ethene molecule undergoes addition polymerization in the presence of 1000 to 2000 atmospheric pressure, okay, 350 to 570 Kelvin temperature, and dioxygen or peroxide as a catalyst. We will get the low density polythene here. Low density polythene. This is low density polythene. In or else you can write LDPE. Both are correct. LDP also is correct. LDPE, low density polythene or low density polyethene. Okay. So, here this is few of the points you have to remember. This is chemically inert, tough and hard, but flexible in nature. And poor conductor in electricity. These are the very important points. See, these are chemically inert in nature, tough and hard but flexible in nature, poor conductor in electricity. And we will study now what are the uses of low density polythene. It is used in electricity, so insulation of electricity carrying wires, used in the manufacture of squeeze bottles, toys and flexible pipes. So, you can see even the pictures on the screen. See, first one is the insulation of electricity carrying wires, that whatever you can see, that is made up of low density polythene, and even squeeze bottles, children toys and flexible pipes. These are also made up of low density polythene. So, next one we will discuss about high density polythene. Next one is high density polythene. we can write this one as HDP or HDPE, high density polythene or high density polyethylene. Okay. This one is prepared by ethene. Okay. Ethene undergoes addition polymerization in the presence of 6 to 7 atmospheric pressure, 333 to 343 Kelvin in temperature, and triethyl aluminum or titanium tetrachloride as a catalyst, we will get high density polythene. This is a high density polythene. See here, this titanium tetrachloride is nothing but Ziegler-Natta catalyst. Okay, this is very important for examination. Ziegler-Natta catalyst means titanium tetrachloride. Okay, so here we can use a titanium tetrachloride or triethyl aluminum as a catalyst, and it is also inert in nature. Okay, hard and tough. Okay, so there in low density polythene it was tough also, but flexible it was there, but in high density polythene it is very hard and tough in nature. Okay, we will study now uses of high density polythene. It is used in the manufacture of buckets, bottles, dustbins and pipes. You can see the one pictures on the screen. Those all the compounds or the components are made up of high density polythene. So next one, so this is all about polythenes. So next one we will study about the polytetrafluoroethene. Okay, is nothing but Teflon. So here this one we will prepare by tetrafluoroethene So when we react, when the tetrafluoroethene undergoes addition polymerization, we will get polytetrafluoroethene. Polytetrafluoroethene, that is nothing but Teflon. Okay. So this is the reaction. This is a tetrafluoroethene and we will get the Teflon, that is a polytetrafluoroethene. So what is the uses of this Teflon? Uses are, it is used in making oil seals and gaskets and used for non-stick surface coated utensils. You can see one picture on the screen. Those all are made up of polytetrafluoroethene, that is Teflon. So next one is polyacrylonitrile. Polyacrylonitrile. So here the acrylonitrile undergoes addition polymerization. This is the acrylonitrile. It undergoes addition polymerization in the presence of high pressure and catalyst. We will get polyacrylonitrile acrylonitrile. This is the acrylonitrile structure, CH2CH, so we will get the polyacrylonitrile. So what are the uses of this polyacrylonitrile? So it is used as substitute for wool in making commercial fibers as Orlon or acrylan. So till now we have discussed about the addition polymerization. In addition polymerization, again we discussed about free radical mechanism, and again we discussed about some important addition polymers. Those are low density polythene, high density polythene, that is a Teflon, that is a polytetrafluoroethene, and polyacrylonitrile. So in next class we will discuss about the condensation polymerization.